is up, fantasy football geeks? Welcome to my podcast. Welcome to my channel. You can find me on YouTube. Just type in Vice Fantasy Football for all the latest news and commentary on all the crazy stuff that goes on in the NFL, all the crazy stuff that goes on with the fantasy football world. But today, we are talking about Tom Brady. And we're talking about the real reason why Tom Brady left the Patriots. As the title says, I'm not a Patriot fan. I'm not a Tom Brady fan. But I guess maybe I grew into a fan. I don't know. But I'll, at the end, you'll kind of know how I feel about this whole thing. So Tom Brady, for those of you that have lived under a rock, is considered to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, if not the greatest quarterback of all time, passing Joe Montana and others. So the fact that he left New England was a surprise, I would say, to a lot of people, because I don't know that anybody thought that Tom Brady would ever leave New England. Now, there's examples of people leaving teams, like Brett Favre did it. Vince Lombardi did it, who else? There's a lot of examples of people doing that, I think it's a common thing. I remember Emmitt Smith leaving the Cowboys for the Cardinals, so it happens. But in this particular case, we're going to talk about the New England Patriots, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and we're going to throw in a little Robert Kraft. And mind you, this is coming from, I consider myself not a fan. I'm a borderline hater. I can't say that I am a hater because I'll be honest with you, Tom Brady has grown on me over the years. So back in 1994, Robert Kraft bought the New England Patriots for I think it was $173 million, which a good deal because it's worth billions today. So Robert Kraft bought the Patriots in 1994. And kind of brought his own style. I thought it took him a while to kind of get things going, because when Kraft bought the New England Patriots were a mess. I mean, I remember seeing Follies on the NFL Network, or Follies on just NFL Films, and it seemed to be that the Patriots were always on those Follies. They were messing up kicks, fumbling, stumbling, tumbling, as Chris Berman would say, and they were just on the funny reels. It seems like every week. So when Robert Kraft bought the Patriots, I thought, okay, let's see what this guy can do. I didn't think that he was going to do what he was able to do now as the Patriots as we know them, but it was interesting to see that this guy bought the Patriots, and we all thought, okay, man, you just bought a loser franchise. You're not gonna, a loser franchise. Good luck with that. But he surprised all of us. He obviously created this brand now that is the New England Patriots, and obviously Bill Belichick and Brady are the reason for that. So, but Kraft had some problems of his own lately. So I always like to say that the writing was on the wall for Brady, and I think that it started with Kraft. I think because Kraft had his own problems, and specifically, for those of you that don't know, Kraft got caught in a prostitution ring sting in Florida. Come on, man. The guy is 90-something years old, 80-something years old. I don't know how old he is, but you get caught in a prostitution ring. Look, man. you're getting your groove on, whatever it is, man. That's on you. That's all up to you. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Look, his wife died. He was alone. The guy's getting a little something on the side at a massage parlor or whatever. Leave the man alone. Come on, man. So leave the brother alone. Why are you guys messing with him? He's 80 years old. He's getting his groove on. He's not hurting anybody. He just happened to get caught in this prostitution ring. He pleaded. He didn't take a plea deal, so he fighted. Obviously, he's Robert Kraft. How many of you thought that Robert Kraft would lose a court case on a prostitution rap. It's not gonna happen. Go on with your bad self, Robert Kraft, man. You're the man. I don't know how I feel about Kraft. I hear a lot of people are saying, not just from in New England. By the way, when people from New England speak about the Patriots, I just shut down. I just shut it down because New England, you guys are in, and I mean this with respect, because I think that all fans do the same thing. But it seems to be, especially now that the Patriots have had a lot of success, it seems to be rampant in New England. So New England, you guys are in denial as to what the Patriots were accused of and what the Patriots have done. Because every Patriot fan that I've ever spoken to, whether you're from Boston or not Boston, but especially from Boston, that's a Patriot fan, or from the area at least, you guys are very passionate about your team, which is a good thing. But you're definitely blinded, or you're definitely in denial about what the rest of the world thinks about the Patriots. Well, maybe you're not in denial, but you just don't care, which is a good thing, right? Because no fans, like if you're a Raider fan or a Cowboy fan or a Jet fan or whatever, you really don't care, and your team is having success. You're really not going to care how you're winning, but that you're winning. But in this podcast, we're going to discuss some of the things that actually bothered me. Some of the things that bother me about the Patriots. Some of the things that bothered me about Brady, Belichick. And not so much Kraft. Like I was saying, I think Kraft, he's been characterized as a good guy, stand up guy, a classy guy, and I see that. I do, honestly. I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I do see that in Kraft. But what I do kind of get the feeling is, though, that even though Kraft is not a like a mean guy, or just like a complete a-hole, or just a mean human being or a bad human being, what I do know is that, or what I get the feeling is that he hired Belichick to do that for him, to do the dirty work for him. I could be wrong. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments about this, but I believe, in my opinion, that I think that he's a good guy. He is, but I believe that he needs a bad guy to do his dirty work. And enter Bill Belichick. Belichick came to the Patriots in 2000. He came in from the Jets. Obviously, there was a whole drama. There was a whole drama with Belichick and the Jets at the time. So he came in with that drama from the Jets, and I think Kraft might have hired him. It's hard to say, but I think he might have hired him out of spite for the Jets at the time. I don't think he has a hatred for the Jets now, and that's only because he's had so much success. But I think that if they were like complete rivals, where the winning was equal, like one year they won the Super Bowl, one year the Jets knocked them out, then the Patriots knocked them out, then it would be a completely different story. Trust me, because people want you to have success, but as long as you don't have more success than they do, they're happy, right? And that's in life in general, in my opinion. So Belichick came in 2000, and one of the things that, when he came in 2000, I don't know how many people put a lot of stock in him. So it wasn't until later, for me anyways, it wasn't until the Tuck rule that put the Patriots in the Super Bowl to kind of get this whole thing going, that kind of made me just kind of dislike the Patriots. I didn't hate the Patriots, but it made me dislike them, because I thought that the Tuck rule gave them they kind of, it was the last play for those of you who don't know, the Tuck rule was the last play of the game. They were playing the Raiders in the AFC Championship. Whoever won went to the Super Bowl, obviously. So Tom Brady went back to pass. It was towards the end of the game. There was only a few seconds left. He fumbled the ball. He clearly fumbled the ball, and the Raiders were like, yeah, he fumbled the ball. What else is there? But all of a sudden, the referees came out with, and it took a long time to review the play. The referees took a long time to decide what the outcome of the play was going to be. So the referees came out and said that it was not a fumble because it was a tuck rule, and he was trying to put the ball back into his chest or into his stomach, and then fumbled the ball. And because he was doing that, it wasn't a fumble. And of course, some of you guys are going to correct me because there's a little bit more to that than that. When you go back to pass, kind of put it back down. But and we're all thinking tuck rule. Who the hell ever heard of a tuck rule? When was the last time the tuck rule came into play? And you're talking about the AFC Championship game. The Raiders were so pissed off that they walked off the field. The Raiders literally walked off the field because they couldn't believe that the tuck rule a tuck rule call was made in favor of the Patriots. So they what do? They just walk off the field. I mean, what else are you going to do? You feel you got robbed. And at that time, Al Davis was the owner of the Raiders, and the rumor was and the feeling was that the NFL hated Al Davis, at the time. So Al Davis never really got the breaks from the NFL. That was the consensus back then, right? They never got the calls. The Raiders were the most penalized team in the league year in and year out, it seemed like, and they just got all the bad calls. They had that stigma, and everybody thought, at least people not in New England, thought that the Raiders always got the bad calls. And that was just that, to a lot of people, that just cemented that thought process, that whole conspiracy. So, over the years, I still don't like the call, but over the years, I kind of came in I kind of was okay with it. And that's because, since then they have called the tuck rule on other players now, but still, it still left a bad taste in my mouth. It just didn't seem right that an obvious fumble could be, considered, a tuck rule and not a fumble when you did fumble it. And again, it is a rule. The rules are the rules, as they would tell you in New England. Even Brady was baffled at the time. I remember him doing an interview, and I was trying to, whatever the ref said, I was trying to do. So hey, man, more power to you guys if that happened to you. But people outside of New England, we just kind of left a bad taste in our mouth with that, and that's kind of what started the whole thing. Then it seemed like nobody can touch Brady. Like when Brady got hurt and they, he injured his knee and he was out for the season, they changed the rules. Every time they had to change a quarterback rule is because Tom Brady either got hurt, was gonna get hurt, they were beating on him a little too much, and it just seemed that way. Obviously when you're in New England, you're not going to agree with that, but I'm telling you how the rest of the league, the rest of the people outside New England feel, the non-fans, anyways. But, I know I'm talking a lot of smack, but over the years, Brady's a hard guy not to like, man. I'm telling you, Brady is, for all the issues that the Patriots have, and I'll go over them a little more too. Brady is a hard guy not to like. I mean, he's a charismatic guy. He always says the right thing. He was professional. He's always professional. He just seems like a good guy. He's a family man. He's got a model, supermodel for a wife. He's got beautiful kids. I mean, it's just a hard dude not to like. But having said all that, I think that all that has come to bite him now in 2020. And let me explain why. So Brady came into the league in 2001. I'm sorry, he took over in 2001. If you guys don't remember, Drew Bledsoe was the highly top. He was big in New England. He was the second coming over there, and he was doing well. But Drew Bledsoe was just a statue, man. That dude would just stand there and he would get sacked. But he had a little bit of success because he was a big guy. He could throw the ball. And in 2001, Drew Bledsoe got the crap knocked out of him. He had to leave the game. And that enter Tom Brady. Need I say any more as far as that goes? Tom Brady came in and just kind of took, I won't go into it too much, but he came in 2001 for Bledsoe, and the rest is history, as they say. But nobody knew that at the time, because you got to remember, Tom Brady was a sixth-round draft pick of the Patriots. He couldn't run a 40 to save his life. You have Tom Brady run a 40, it's going to take him a day and a half. You go catch the bus, you come back, and he's still trying to finish it. That dude, and he was like, if you go and see him running a 40 in the combine. The dude is awkward. He's like flat-footed. It looks like he's got two thumbs. Two thumbs on his feet. He's just awkward when he runs, and he's a slow guy. And I'm thinking, what the hell? Where is this dude gonna fit? But that was then, and this is now. We all know what Tom Brady can do. I mean, his intelligence and he reading the field, et cetera, made him who he is. So with that, I think that Belichick. One thing that I don't understand about Belichick is that people like Belichick in New England. He's considered probably the best coach in the history of the NFL. And even if you're not a New England fan, it's hard to argue that with the success that he's had, But us non-fans with Belichick, we think he's a complete a-hole. We think, and I've seen that in people, and you Boston guys, you New England fan guys, you think that that's okay. But imagine you having an a-hole boss at work, and the boss is an a-hole to you. You're not going to like that. So that's what I kind of look at it as with Belichick. I know that being an a-hole that you guys think it comes with winning, but there's people out there that are not a-holes that have won before. Maybe not as much. I think, Belichick, because he's a winner, it's hard to kind of challenge what he does. But I've never liked Belichick as far as his personality, his way of doing things. And I knew that eventually he was going to screw Brady over. And in 2020, I think he did, because he didn't even give Brady of course, an opinion based on reports and tweets and just people in the know. He apparently called Brady. It wasn't even a contract negotiation. He called Brady, say, "Hey man, I can't give you the money that you made last year. You're getting less money. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it, bastard." And who you're. If I was Brady, I would have said, "You know who you're talking to, man? I'm Tom freaking Brady." And again, that nice guy that Tom Brady is, I think really screwed him in 2020, because how many times, Bill Belichick, how many times did Tom Brady have to restructure his contract to get players to stay? How many times did Tom Brady help out the organization by restructuring his contract? And then you're going to call him and tell him that we can't pay you more than what you made last year in the final years of your career? And, okay, so look, a lot of people are saying that Brady was falling off a little bit, but the dude still won the division. He was 12-4. The guy with crappy receivers. I mean, you guys were 12-4, man. What do you think? What do you think? How much more do you want from the guy? You're 12-4. You won the division, and now you're going to call him and tell him that you can't pay him. So Brady, the reality is that Brady wanted a long-term contract. Look, man, let me finish my career in New England. That's all I want, man. I want a little respect. What's wrong with that? Belichick, I hope this happens to you, man, at the end of your career. I hope that Kraft says, "You know what, dude? I'm not renewing your contract. You're out of here. See how you feel." And I'm sorry, guys. It's just Belichick just rubbed me the wrong way. You can say he's the best ever, whatever, but to me, he's the best ever with an asterisk, and we'll cover that in a second. But the point is that I knew it was going to come to Tom Brady. Tom Brady was just too professional. Even when he left New England to Tampa Bay, he kept it professional. He didn't say anything bad about the Patriots. He didn't say anything bad about Belichick. And, even some of the guys that were Belichick's favorite, like Tommy Amendola and Gronk, Gronkowski. When Amendola left the Patriots, when he tweeted and he said that he was happy, man, that the writing was on the wall. Basically, he said, "Screw Belichick. I'm out of there. I'm glad I'm out of that freaking plantation or whatever you want to call it. It's like it's screw that dude, man. Maybe I'm not gonna win Super Bowls, but I don't have to be under his freaking thumb, And Amendola, he didn't exactly say that, but I'm saying it for him. Amendola hated Belichick, and he hated working for Belichick. He hated play for Belichick. He hated being in New England. And that's because Belichick, like I said, he's just a complete a-hole. And we'll cover that a little more, too. Gronkowski is the same way. You think of Gronkowski, apparently the dude has been hurt for years and years. He's been hurt. He could have gone back to New England, played with Tom Brady. The moment Brady went to Tampa Bay, the moment they signed with Tampa Bay, Gronk says, whoa, I get out of New England, I go to Tampa Bay and I can play with Brady? Sign me the hell up, man. Sign me up. Don't you think Gronk could have gone back to New England and play? He could have gone back to New England. What is he, all of a sudden he's healthy because Brady went to Tampa Bay? Read between the lines, man. If he was healthy, if he could play, he could have gone to New England and played with Brady, those years. But no, he said, screw Belichick. I'm not going to play for that dick. I'm just not playing for him, and I'm just screw him. And in one of his tweets to Amendola, he did say, hey, I'm glad you're happy now. Kind of go and see those tweets. Maybe I'll put it on the video here. But the point is that Gronk could have played with Brady in New England, and he didn't. And it's because he hates Belichick. I know Gronk is another one of those guys who is like tries to be professional. He's a party guy, whatever. He's a fun guy, but he doesn't want to play under him. Nobody does. What do what everybody's like, oh, I'm going to play for Belichick. They'll play for him and like, screw this, man, I'm out of here. So he's winning, right? So it's acceptable because Belichick is winning. You Boston guys, you New England fan guys, you accept it because he's winning. But I promise you that if you had an a-hole boss at work, you wouldn't be accepting of it. And that's the way I see it, man. And that's what I think about Belichick. So Belichick, his thing has always been year-to-year contracts, year-to-year players. And that's why they've always asked Brady to restructure his contract, to get Randy Moss in there, to get big name players. But let's get to the writing on the wall for Brady. So I really think that Antonio Brown was it. This was the final straw for Brady. And not that Brown did anything wrong for Brady, because I think they're friends and they like each other. The fact that Brown couldn't stay with the Patriots affected Tom Brady's passer rating. It affected his play. It affected everything else because the receivers over there sucked. Even Julian Edelman, that dude couldn't get separation to save his life, man. He couldn't do anything in New England, and they blamed it all on Brady. Now look, Brady did miss a couple. He did miss a few open receivers, but then they contribute that to his old age. Brady can still throw the ball, man. Brady can still, as long as you protect Brady, he can beat Brady. By the way, I don't know if they're going to do that in Tampa Bay, because one of the biggest success, and I think the one of the reasons why Brady was so successful, and something that never gets covered or rarely gets covered in New England, is the offensive line. The offensive line never gets like big mention. They never get like the love that they deserve in New England. But think about it. And I've always known this, and I I'm not going to defend the Patriots. I'm not going to go on my fantasy football podcast and say, hey, that great offensive line in New England, maybe I should have, for those guys, I should have. But over the years, I thought the real reason why the Patriots are successful and Brady is successful is because of that offensive line. Nobody can frickin' touch Brady. And the only teams that touched Brady were the Giants, and the Giants beat him twice. It's like they were the only people that can get to Brady. Everybody else couldn't get to him, and that's the reason why Brady had all that success through all those years. Don't believe all that other crap, because he didn't have the receivers. He didn't have all the big names that other teams had. Imagine if Tom Brady played, say, with like the '90s Cowboys, or the 49ers when they were winning Super Bowls, or how many Super Bowls with Jerry Rice and in his prime, and all these other guys. I know that Brady had some good receivers throughout the years, but again, because of Belichick, they had that short-term contract thing, that year-to-year deal with a bunch of incentives. And it came back to bite Brady in the ass. And why? Because Bill Belichick is like, we can't pay you, man. It's a year-to-year, and it's incentives. And Brady's like, I've been in New England for 20 freaking years. 20 years, man. I've been in New England. I won 6 Super Bowls. Yeah, 6 Super Bowls, 16 AFC titles, 9 NFC championships. And this is supposed to be a time when there's parity in the league, and you can't give me till I'm 45 to play. I still got it, man. He still got it, and you can't give me Belichick. You can't give me some respect, some good old fashioned respect, and sign me until you're 45. Till I'm 45. I could always, I'm still at the top of my game. He's still at the top of his game. He was 12-4, guys. He won the freaking division. Well, you can't respect the dude. Give him what he's asking for. That's just wrong, and that's all Belichick. That's all him, and it came to bite Brady in the ass. And I knew it would eventually. I didn't know when. I knew that when he was getting close to retire, I knew that Belichick would do him wrong, and he did. It's just not a good thing, man. It's like you can't reach an agreement with Tom Brady. Robert Kraft, you have no stones to kind of interfere and just say, look, man, look, Belichick, we're going to give him the contract. So Bill Belichick is bullying you, Robert Kraft. He's the greatest coach ever. He's the most winning coach, blah, 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 blah. But he does not give respect to Tom Brady, so he's bullying you into not giving Brady a contract. Is that what happened, Robert Kraft? Because you could have very easily kept Brady with the Patriots. I know you put out a tweet saying that if Brady wanted the contract, blah, 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 blah. If you would have intervened and said, Brady, we're giving you what you want, this contract, maybe the contract that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers gave him, he would be in New England. You guys don't want him in New England because he's a has-been, he's done, according to you, but he won the division for you at 12-4? What is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you guys? So, like I said, I became a Brady fan. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm defending him now, because I was never a big Brady fan. I didn't like the controversy that surrounded him with him and the Patriots. Mostly Belichick though. But Spygate, I didn't like it. I didn't like Deflategate. I didn't like the time clock situation. Manipulating the time clock, which I don't think that necessarily was cheating. I just think he knew what he was doing. But I mean, there's just so much stuff, and you guys say it too in New England, guys. Where there's smoke, there's fire. The New England Patriots have had so much smoke coming from their team that there's a fire somewhere. Something is burning over there, and this is why people outside of New England think you guys, well, not you guys, but the New England Patriots are cheaters, And look, it comes with success, right? The more successful you are, the more hate you're going to get. But you guys make it easy, man, because you keep getting caught cheating. So, Spygate. Spygate was, for those of you who don't know, Spygate, the New England Patriots were caught, or they weren't caught, but they were ratted out by former Jets employees who said that they were videotaping another team. I think it was the Cleveland Browns against the Cincinnati Bengals. So they were videotaping other teams' when apparently they weren't supposed to. So that goes back and forth. Maybe they were, they did, they had permission, didn't have permission. The damage is done, right? So they're seen as cheaters. So what happens? The tape goes to the NFL. The league gets it. The commissioner gets it. Robert Goodell, he gets it, and he looks at the tape and says, "Okay, I seen enough. I'm going to destroy the tape." So the NFL destroys the Spygate tape, them recording other teams, and it leaves everybody, the whole league, everybody else, like, what the hell just happened? What would have happened if the league would have had videotape of Ray Rice and they would have destroyed it? Ray Rice in the elevator, for those of you who don't remember that domestic violence episode that he had, or any other tape of a player or a team doing something wrong, and they destroyed it. Didn't tell anybody anything, they just destroyed it. What would have happened? All hell would have broke loose. Because everybody, including Kraft, would have said, what the hell's going on here? You destroyed evidence, you destroyed video of something that's not supposed to be happening because you're protecting the league. Now, I don't know that the league is protecting the Patriots. A lot of people say they are. A lot of people say they do, especially outside of New England. The majority of people say they do, and they protect Brady. They protect blah, 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 because Kraft and the commissioner are buddies, and, that whole thing. It's just more stuff. It's just more stuff to more ammo for people that don't like the Patriots, that kind of just kind of go just to hate them. So that's just the way it is. So back to Antonio Brown. So I really think that the end of the fact that Antonio Brown's problems got him kicked off of the team, that really was the end of Brady. I mean, I think that it started with Kraft getting caught in that prostitution ring, honestly, in some kind of weird. I think that kind of started to snowball the whole thing. And with all that other stuff, Spygate and Deflategate and all that stuff swirling around, I think that didn't really matter in New England, but it mattered outside of New England. And people started seeing the writing on the wall for them. The same when Tom Brady had, when Antonio Brown left, when he got let go by the Patriots, he still had Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon was no joke, man. He could still play, but he too had issues where he had to leave the team. So he left the team, and it left Brady with literally no one. Julian Edelman was the only one, in my opinion, that could have done anything over there, but that guy just wasn't getting any separation. Now, again, he did miss some people, but Julian Edelman, I think, was on the decline, or declined a lot more, or was having a bad season. I don't know. But one of the things is that Julian Edelman was not a Julian Edelman performing, coming across the middle, catching the ball after the catch, running. It just wasn't Julian Edelman, and that really affected Brady. And then you started seeing him get sacked more. So then you started seeing Brady get sacked, and you see that that confidence starts to shake a little bit. But he's still Brady, and like I said, 12-4, he still won the division when that happened. So. And then the final straw, in my opinion, was, and this is before all this happened, this is back in 2017, I think when Tom Brady's trainer, Alex Guerrero, was banned from the facilities in New England, I think that was the beginning of the end for everything. I think that showed that Belichick started to show. I mean, come on. Who made that decision? Belichick. Did Kraft make that decision? No. Kraft is a nice guy. He's using Belichick as a bully. And little did he know that Belichick is going to bully him. But he's using Belichick as a bad guy. Belichick says, you know what, dude? I don't want this guy here. He's your trainer. He can't go on the flight anymore. He can't go on your, he can't come to the facilities anymore. Dude, why do you have to play that game? Why do you have to show your power? Why are you flexing on Tom Brady? Because you don't want his personal trainer there. Why? After all he's done for you, that is 100% grade A-hole. That's a 100% asshole. How does that affect your life in any way that Brady can have his personal trainer at work with him, on the plane with him, when he was already going with him and everything was okay? Maybe there's something behind the scenes that we don't know, but he bothered you that much that his trainer had to be banned. I think the real reason is you're flexing and showing Tom Brady who's boss. You wanted to show Tom Brady that you're Bill Belichick and that you are the man in New England and not Tom Brady. Maybe Tom Brady was outshining you. Maybe you felt threatened by Tom Brady. I don't know. It's all speculation on my part. But what I do know is that was a dick move by removing Alex Guerrero from Tom Brady's world in New England. It was completely unnecessary. Why even do that? Why go there? Why go there? So anyways, I know I was ranting on about, Tom Brady and Belichick, but, I'll leave it at this. Tom Brady, he's got a lot of controversy. I still think that, when people talk about Tom Brady, just because I'm a hater, I think when they say he's the greatest of all time, I'm going to put an asterisk next to his name. But I'll tell you what, man, Tom Brady grew on me. Tom Brady was the ultimate professional. He always knew what to say. He's not a cocky dude. He's not he kind of says the same thing over and over. And I mean, Tom Brady could have been a complete a-hole with the Patriots and told the truth about what happened with the Patriots. He could have said, hey, man, I feel disrespected. Why can't you say that, Tom Brady? Why can't you say, I feel disrespected, man? You know why? Because he's a nice guy. He's a professional. And those kind of people don't say that. And, I can completely understand that. But sometimes you just got to speak up, man. What's wrong with saying, I feel disrespected. I don't like this dude. Or maybe I didn't like this dude afterwards, or maybe I did like him in the beginning, but towards the end here, just he's a control freak, or, he's just not conducive to my health or to my mentality, or I don't know, whatever it is, I'm just making all that up. But whatever the problem was, why didn't you say so, Tom Brady? Why don't you say so? It's okay, man. It's okay to speak up. You're in America. You can speak up, and I know you're going to stay professional and everything, and, that's why you grew on me. That's why I do like Tom Brady, guys. Honestly, I do. I think he's probably the best quarterback. Hard for me to say, but probably the best quarterback to ever play, where I don't think that anybody's even close. Now, the cheating part, people say, Deflategate didn't make that much of a difference. Probably true. And well, I know it's true. Probably didn't make a whole lot of difference. But the fact that it happened, Spygate, the fact that it happened is giving other people an advantage. It's giving the Patriots an advantage. That is cheating, man. So if as an example, if you run a race and the guy next to you does something that he's not supposed to do and he wins, but he's still faster than you knew he was going to win anyway, but he cheated. Does he win? What is that saying? Cheaters never win? It's a metaphor, right? Cheaters never win, meaning people that are looking at cheaters don't look at them as winners because they didn't play fairly. So, if you ran that race and he cheated, even though he was faster than you, he didn't need to cheat. He cheated, he won. He won fair and square in the race, but he did something. Maybe he's taking steroids. I don't know, something. Maybe he tripped you. I don't know. Accidentally, purposely tripped you, and he cheated and he won. He didn't need to do that. He was better than everybody else anyway. Why did he have to cheat? And I think that's the dilemma in New England. But like I said, man, Tom Brady is a straight up guy. I really do like Tom Brady. I'm a fan now, and I really hope he gets a lot of love in Tampa Bay, which it looks like he already is. I can't wait for the season to start because he has some power in Tampa Bay. He has Mike Evans over there, 6'5" guy, man, big dude. He's had some nice seasons with like freaking who was it, Josh McNown and Ryan Fitzpatrick. You know, these guys that aren't necessarily like top notch quarterbacks, respectable in their own way. Jameis Winston is, arguably one of the better quarterbacks in the league. But I was going to say Vincent Jackson. Mike Evans has proven that he can do it without a great quarterback. So has Chris Godwin. Man, Chris Godwin is coming up. If you look at the fantasy drafts, everybody, Chris Godwin is one of the top wide receivers in the league. So and he's next to Evans, and Tom Brady's got those two guys that throw to. Now, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Those guys I think are really going to help Tom Brady. He's going to have something that he didn't have in New England, and that's two top-notch receivers. But again, that doesn't mean that he's going to have success, guys, because how's that offensive line going to keep him up? Like I said before, in New England, the unsung heroes over there was the offensive line. That's a real reason why Brady was winning in New England, that damn offensive line. I don't know that that's going to happen in Tampa Bay. And the coaching in Tampa Bay, what kind of plays are you going to run for Brady? Do you understand Brady? Do you know his strength, his weaknesses, like Belichick does? I say no, because they haven't been with him for 20 years like that dude was, and they haven't backstabbed him the last year like that dude did. So he doesn't know. Or they don't know over there how to treat this whole thing. So anyways, guys, I didn't mean to disrespect anybody. I didn't mean to say anything that's derogatory towards New England fans. I'm just telling you how people outside New England feel, and I'm telling everyone how people inside New England feel as far as the cheating goes, because they don't see of it, they don't look at it that way. So leave me some comments and try keep it professional. Don't be mean and all that stuff, because I will delete those comments. But leave those comments below and tell me what you think. Also, remember to catch Vice Fantasy Football Podcast, available on iTunes, and catch my Vice Fantasy Football YouTube channel for all the latest information and some fun stuff. I have some fun videos on there on how to play fantasy football, how to change your logos, how to draft, all that good stuff. So catch me on that. Catch me on Vice Fantasy Football, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening.